Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into investment strategies, but not just any strategies. These are specifically designed for those of you in your 40s.
It's a really crucial time to get a handle on your finances.
It is. Let's be real for a second. Getting a grip on your finances during this decade can really make or break your future.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that.
And get this, almost half of Americans between 5 and 54 have absolutely nothing saved for retirement.
That's a pretty staggering statistic.
It's kind of a shocker, right? And
Yeah.
so whether you're just beginning your investment journey or you're just looking to kind of revamp what you already have going on, we're going to try to break it all down into clear, actionable steps that you can actually use.
Exactly. And I think a great place to start is by just taking a financial snapshot.
Okay, so financial snapshot, what does that even mean? Break it down for us.
Well, think of it as like taking stock of where you are financially right now.
Okay.
What assets do you have? Things like savings, investments, property, that kind of thing.
Okay, so what you own, basically.
Exactly. And then we look at the flip side,
Uh-oh.
your debts.
Decks, okay.
So loans, mortgages, credit card balances, all that fun stuff.
Not so fun stuff.
Right. We're laying it all out on the table so we can really see where you stand.
I see. So it's not just about identifying the gaps, but also seeing where the opportunities are.
Exactly.
So maybe there's room to boost your income or cut back on some spending.
Exactly. One of the articles that you sent over highlighted this, and it's not about dwelling on past mistakes or, feeling overwhelmed.
Right.
This step is all about gaining clarity and taking control.
And that control is what empowers you to make those smarter decisions going forward.
Knowledge is power.
I love that. Okay, so we've got our financial snapshot. We've kind of identified those gaps and opportunities. What's next?
Well, then it's time to get laser focused on those financial goals.
Okay, I love how one of the articles put it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So true. For finances, too. Even those small, consistent actions over time can lead to some really huge progress.
Absolutely. And speaking of those steps, what kind of financial goals are we thinking about in our 40s? Retirement planning is obviously a big one,
Yeah.
but it's not the only one. Maybe you're saving for your kids' education, you're thinking about buying a home, or even planning your legacy, what you want to leave behind for your loved ones.
Okay, so you say goals, and all I see is numbers. And honestly, numbers kind of stress me
I
out.
understand, but that's why it's so important to connect those numbers with your vision for the future.
Okay.
What does your dream retirement look like? What experiences do you want to have? Tying your goals to your values makes them so much more motivating.
That makes a lot of sense.
Uh-oh.
I can get behind that. Okay, so we've got our financial snapshot. We've defined some goals. And now it's time to tackle the big one, retirement planning.
Honestly, it just feels like this giant, overwhelming monster sometimes.
It's understandable to feel that way, especially in your 40s. You're juggling so much.
So much.
But the clock is ticking. The sooner you start planning, the better.
Yeah.
That's motivation enough for me, I
Yeah.
think. One of the articles mentioned maximizing your 401k contributions. A lot of employers offer these matching programs, but I've never really understood how they work.
Yeah, so basically your employer matches a certain percentage of what you contribute to your 401k.
So free money.
Basically free money.
I like the sound of that.
And in your 40s, you can also take advantage of what are called catch-up contributions.
Catch-up contributions.
It means you can actually contribute even more than you could in your 20s and 30s,
Wow.
which is great for people who may have started saving later.
That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got 401ks, and then there's that whole Social Security thing. And honestly, I've always been a little bit confused about how that all works.
I hear you. It can be a bit confusing, but it's a really crucial part of your retirement plan. Understanding how your benefits are calculated when you're eligible to collect, that's essential.
So I guess it helps you figure out how much you'll actually be getting from Social Security so you can incorporate it into your overall plan.
Exactly. You don't want to rely on it as your sole source of income in retirement, especially with all the uncertainties surrounding its future these days.
That's a good point. Speaking of retirement income, one of the articles had this really cool idea about creating multiple income streams for retirement. It's like having a backup plan for your backup plan.
It's a brilliant strategy, and it can really reduce that financial stress in retirement. Imagine having income coming in from rental properties, maybe a side hustle. You enjoy dividends from investments. It's all about diversification.
So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, so to speak.
Exactly. If one income stream takes a hit, you've got others to fall back on.
Okay, I'm definitely on board with that idea. All right, so we've covered understanding our financial snapshot, setting goals, and getting serious about retirement planning. We talked about 401k, Social Security, multiple income streams. What else do we need to know to really rock our finances in our 40s.
Well, now it's time to dive into the exciting world of investing
Oh, yeah, investing.
and figure out how to make that money really work for you.
Okay, investing. I have to admit, this is the part that always kind of makes me nervous.
I get it. It can seem overwhelming at first, but that's where those smart investment strategies come in. And the good news is your 40s are actually a sweet spot for investing.
Oh, really? How come?
Well, because you still have time to let those investments grow. You're not quite at retirement age yet, but you're also at a point where you need to be more strategic about it.
Okay, so what does that actually look like? What are some of those key concepts we need to understand?
Well, one of the most important is diversification.
Okay.
Remember when we talked about having those multiple income streams for retirement?
Yeah.
Same principle applies to your investments. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Spread them out across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, real estate, maybe even some alternative investments.
Okay, so don't just put all my money into like tech stocks, for instance.
Right, exactly.
Make sure I've got some bonds, some real estate, maybe bury some gold bars in the backyard. Just kidding. But seriously, why is diversification so important?
Well, it helps you manage risk. If one investment takes a hit, you've got others to cushion the blow.
Okay.
Like, let's say you had all your money in tech stocks and then suddenly the tech sector goes through a downturn.
Yeah, that would be bad.
If you also have investments in things like bonds or real estate, those might hold their value better and help offset your losses.
So it's like a shock absorber for your investments.
Exactly. And to get you started, aim for a portfolio with 60% stocks, 30% bonds, and 10% alternative investments.
Okay, I'm writing this down. 60, 30, 10.
Okay.
Got it. So diversification, that's key. What else?
Another important concept is balancing growth and value investing.
Okay, break that down for me.
So growth investments are all about growth. They're companies with high potential for rapid appreciation, like those in the tech sector or healthcare.
So those are the ones that could potentially make you a lot of money quickly, but they also come with more risk, right?
Exactly.
High risk, high reward.
And then value investments, on the other hand, those focus on stability and dividends. They might not grow as quickly as growth stocks, but they're typically less volatile.
So how do I know which one is right for me?
Well, it all depends on your individual risk tolerance and your time horizon. Someone in their early 40s with a longer time horizon to go, they might be more comfortable with a larger allocation towards growth investments.
Yeah, makes sense.
But someone closer to retirement might prefer a more conservative approach with more of an emphasis on those value investments.
It's all about finding that right balance.
Precisely. And it's also not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Oh, really?
It's important to rebalance your portfolio periodically.
Rebalancing, what does that even mean?
It just means adjusting that investment mix
Okay.
to make sure you're still aligned with your risk tolerance and goals, even as those market values shift.
Gotcha. So we've covered diversification, balancing, growth, and value investing, and then there's the actual investment vehicles themselves. The articles mention traditional and Roth IRAs. I always get those two mixed up.
It's a common question. With a traditional IRA, your contributions are tax deductible, which is a nice perk up front, but you'll pay taxes on your withdrawals in retirement.
So you're kind of delaying that gratification.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Roth IRAs work the opposite way. You contribute after tax dollars, so you've already paid taxes on that money. But when you withdraw it in retirement, it's tax-free.
Okay, so no immediate tax break, but potentially huge tax savings down the road. So which one's better?
Well, it depends on a few factors.
Okay.
Your current income, your tax bracket, how much you expect to be earning in retirement, and your overall financial goals.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
Yeah.
You really got to think about what makes sense for you in your specific situation.
Exactly. And remember those health savings accounts or HSAs that we talked about?
Yeah, those triple tax benefits.
They're a great option if you qualify.
Okay, good to know. Speaking of investment options, one of the articles mentioned real estate. I feel like a lot of people are really interested in that these days.
Especially as a way to hedge against inflation.
Yeah, I've always been kind of curious about it. But it seems like so much work. You have to be a landlord and deal with tenants and all that.
You could choose to be a landlord and manage properties directly.
Yeah.
But there are other options, too. Like you could invest in real estate investment trusts or REITs.
REITs, okay.
REITs are companies that own and operate income-producing real estate.
Okay.
So basically, it allows you to invest in real estate without actually owning physical property.
Oh, so I could potentially benefit from the growth in the real estate market without having to deal with leaky faucets and late-night calls from tenants.
Exactly. It's less hands-on.
I like that. But is it risky?
Well, every investment comes with risks.
True.
Real estate markets can fluctuate, and even REITs can lose value.
Got it. So it's important to do your research and understand the potential risks and rewards before diving in.
Absolutely. Speaking of research, let's move on to another really important aspect of financial planning, managing debt.
Okay, debt. It's not the most fun topic, but I guess it's something we all have to deal with at some point. It's one of those things you can't really avoid, can you?
Not really. No one likes to talk about debt, but it's important.
It is. And I think a lot of people, especially in their 40s, are juggling, trying to pay down debt while also saving for retirement and investing for the future.
Yeah, you've got to find that balance.
Yeah. How do we do that? What are some strategies for managing debt effectively while also, making progress towards those investment goals?
One of the most effective strategies is to create a debt repayment plan.
Hmm.
Figure out how much you can realistically afford to put towards your debts each month,
Okay.
and then prioritize those debts. Focus on the ones with the highest interest rates first.
Attack the high interest ones first.
Exactly. That can save you a lot of money in interest charges over time.
What about credit cards? Any tips for dealing with those? They tend to have pretty high interest rates.
Absolutely. If you're struggling with high credit card balances, consider doing a balance transfer to a card with a lower interest rate. You might even qualify for like a 0% introductory APR period.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it can give you some breathing room to pay down that principal faster.
Gotcha. And always pay more than the minimum if you can, right?
Always. Even a little extra each month can make a huge difference.
It's those little things that add up over time.
Speaking of things that add up,
Yeah.
one of the articles actually talked about the value of working with financial professionals.
Yeah, is it worth it to seek out a financial advisor, especially when you're in your 40s and things are starting to get a little bit more complex?
It can be incredibly beneficial.
Okay,
Think of it like having a personal trainer for your finances.
I like that.
They can give you personalized advice, help you create a plan, and just offer ongoing support. They can really help you navigate all those complexities.
So they're like your financial coach helping you stay on track and reach your goals.
Exactly. And when you're choosing a financial advisor,
Yeah.
do your research. Look for someone who's certified, experienced, ideally with a proven track record.
Makes sense.
Ask about their fees, their investment philosophy, and how they communicate. You want to make sure it's a good fit.
Yeah, it's a partnership, right?
Exactly.
You really want to feel comfortable with who you're trusting with your money.
Absolutely.
Speaking of feeling comfortable, one of the articles talked about the importance of mindset when it comes to reaching your financial goals.
Mindset is huge. It can really make or break your success.
It's so true. Our thoughts and beliefs can really influence our decisions.
Absolutely. If you're constantly stressed about money, it's tough to make those clear, rational choices.
Yeah.
But if you can cultivate a more positive, empowered mindset, you're much more likely to make those smart financial moves.
So how do we do that? How do we shift our mindset to be more aligned with our goals?
One of the articles had a great tip. Focus on what you can control.
Okay.
You can't control the stock market or interest rates or the economy, but you can control your spending habits, your savings rate, your commitment to investing.
So it's about taking ownership even when things feel uncertain.
Exactly. And it's also about celebrating those small wins along the way.
Yes.
Did you stick to your budget? Did you make an extra debt payment? Did you set up that automatic investment? Give yourself credit for those small victories.
It's so easy to get caught up in what we haven't done yet that we forget to acknowledge all the progress we have made.
Exactly. Celebrating those wins keeps you motivated and reinforces that positive mindset. And remember, setbacks are going to happen.
Oh yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of financial missteps.
It's all part of the process.
It is.
Instead of dwelling on those mistakes, view them as learning opportunities.
Yeah. What can I learn from this?
Exactly. How can you avoid making the same mistake in the future?
It's all about growth, right?
Absolutely. And as you navigate this journey, remember, financial well-being isn't just about the numbers in your bank account.
That's a good point.
It's about living a rich and meaningful life.
It's about having the freedom and the flexibility to pursue your passions, to spend time with loved ones, to live a life that's aligned with your values.
Exactly. Financial freedom gives you the power to make choices that truly matter.
Well said. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive on investing in your 40s, I want to leave you with this thought. Imagine yourself in your 60s or 70s looking back on the financial choices you made today.
Ooh, good one.
What steps can you take now to create a future that you're really proud of? A future where you have the resources to live the life you truly want.
It's a powerful question. And remember, you don't have to make huge changes overnight. Just start with small, consistent steps.
Set a budget, automate your savings, learn about investing, Every step you take, no matter how small, gets you closer to those financial dreams. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.